Hello, mi gente, and welcome back to another episode of Chester Hill Culture with your host, John Patterson. If you can see from the background, today I'm going to be covering Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance. And boy, was it a treat, not just for Latinos, but for everyone, talking about why we need to be united here in the United States. So I'm going to talk about the cultural reasons behind his performance, some of the surprises that happened, and just the overall review of it. So let's get right into it. So we start off with Bad Bunny and the sugarcane fields. It's really important because that is a lot of history for a lot of immigrant people. A lot of people from Puerto Rico, a lot of immigrants started in the sugarcane fields. Not just that, it's a lot of history with farming and immigration. So the way he started it out right there, beautiful. Started it out from the beginning of the story. And then little by little, we see the Latino community, or just the community overall, growing with little shops, people, nail techs, everyone just kind of doing their thing, as well as having some boxers from Latino history, like every little thing just coming together, like the community's building. And then we get to the good part, y'all. We got the casita. Everyone was doing some reggaeton. If you don't know what reggaeton is, it's Latino hip-hop dance music. Everyone was throwing it down. Not just that, we had some surprise special guest appearances from Karol G, Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba, and Young Miko. Latino legends and amazing actors, actresses, and also performers, which led into something really, really important. When Bad Bunny started singing one of his songs and he said, my whole name is Benito Antonio Muertes Oscar. That was really important because a lot of people from different cultures or backgrounds, when they come to the US, you have to cut your name, or you have to make your name more American. And I feel like that's something we need to stop doing. I'm proud to be Hispanic. I usually use my whole name. It's just that, in the US government, we have to shorten our names because family lineage. And then we got another surprise. It went straight to the wedding, and I love this. So 2 people actually got married at the Super Bowl, and it was a beautiful moment. Those people wanted Bad Bunny to perform at their wedding. They sent him a bunch of stuff on social, and he kind of did a favor, having them get married at the Super Bowl. What a moment. And then the other moment was the one and only Lady Gaga coming out singing her iconic song with Bruno Mars, but the salsa edition. And she got her moves in, she got her dress, she had her little bomba dress, she had her moment. And that pretty much showed that more than ever, artists should be open to collab with other artists from different cultures, different backgrounds, as well as just, when it comes to music, a lot of other artists from different cultures have to conform to American style music. But actually, Lady Gaga just showed that you can do a different style of music and still make it like the original and also upbeat. I love that he had a little moment with Lady Gaga dancing. I was like, okay, Gaga, she got her little chancleta, she was doing her little moves. And then we got the fiesta of the wedding. Pretty much everyone can relate to that. The giant family celebration, you have the kids running around, people walking, dancing. I love the thing of Bad Bunny waking up the kid when he slept, because in Latino culture, we usually party late. So just seeing that, I was like, oh, that reminded me of how I was when I was little, stuff like that. And then, boy, it gets even crazier. He played a little bit of some old reggaeton. He played a little bit of Don Moore, Daddy Yankee, Dagon. I thought they was gonna come out for a second. I was a little hype. I was like, oh no, not the old reggaeton. But he went to ECO, did a little tribute to old reggaeton. I love that. As well as he had a little, when he did Rubber York, he had a little version of New York, everyone dancing, as well as a famous person who owns a social club in New York. I loved how she got respected. He kind of did a little thing with her. Great stuff there. And then it kind of cuts away to the one and only Ricky Martin, Latino legend. Actually the first Puerto Rican artist to mainstream in the US during his time. And he did the song, I love the song, Lo Queso El Paso de Hawaii. So the song talks about what happened during Hawaii, when Hawaii became a US territory, and how pretty much the US kind of took all the resources and kind of like left Hawaii to defend for itself. And how it's kind of happening with Puerto Rico and other nations that the US is saying that they're helping, but they're taking resources, they're like taking stuff away. But at the same time, the US government is saying that people from other countries are taking jobs and like resources, but they're doing the same thing on the islands and on other countries' land. So really good nod there. And then I loved it. We got a scene of Bad Bunny giving a little boy the Grammy. Such a moment. And it's a lot that you can say about that. You can say like that's him reflecting to his younger self. You can say that's him passing the torch to the younger generation of people. And also it's a really good image to show like, you don't see a lot of people, and I was really happy to see that. You don't see a lot of people from different cultures get represented, and like growing up, you did not see that representation. So having this new generation of artists have that representation to show younger people is amazing. Cause I love when I see young people, like I have a little cousin, little sister, like they see these artists and they see these celebrities like, oh, I can do this. Stuff like that's really important. If young kids don't see a role model in like their type of field or the stuff they want to do, then they're not gonna go for it. So having Bad Bunny do that was really nice. And also it makes a statement that we should have more people be role models from different cultures and different backgrounds, because it's really important. And then before we end it, he did a little dish. He did a little shade. When he did Café con Ron, I love that song. He sung like, that's a good song. That song pretty much just talks about how in Latino culture, we love a good party, but we also love to drink a nice coffee in the morning and a little party in the afternoon. But I liked it because he had the Puerto Rican people, traditional like Taino type of wear, like island wear. They was working on the lights, but then the lights go out. And that's a really important message as well, because ever since the hurricanes and ever since natural disasters, the US say that they will help other countries in need, but they barely do it with Puerto Rico. I know a lot of family and a lot of family friends that still don't have power or water, and businesses are struggling. And the US seems not to care, even though they say Puerto Rico and other nations or allies or a part of the US, but they don't do the same resources, but they ask for the same resources at the same time. And then I loved how he ended it, guys. The way he ended it was like the big statement. He had every single flag. I saw the Peru flag, I saw the Puerto Rican flag. He had all the flags, all the Latino flags, all the Caribbean flags. He even included Canada. He said the US, they was all running. I was like so hyped. And at the end, he says like, we are United States. This is the American story. Hold the football with a beautiful message. And that's the way it ended. And that was such a good way to end the Super Bowl. Saying that we're all united. And as well as this story relates to a lot of people. After the Super Bowl, a lot of people related to the story. You don't need to be Hispanic to relate to this type of story. A lot of people grew up with family, the hardships, the struggles, and that's the American dream. Like working hard, doing what you have to do for family, for your loved ones. It's not about where you come from. Oh, you came from here, you came from there. No, it's all about the journey. And most people will have the same journey in America. So this whole called, oh, the American dream, or this is the real American journey, it's baloney. Because to be honest, everyone who lives in the United States is having the American dream, is having the American journey. And he pretty much showed it in this Super Bowl performance. I really liked it. In my opinion, I think it's one of the best Super Bowl performances. I know that some people would be like, it's not, and I totally understand. For me, it will be up there in my top 5. So like my top 5 Super Bowl performances of all time will be Michael Jackson is number 1. Number 2 would be Kendrick. Number 3 would be Bad Bunny. Number 4 would be Beyonce, and then number 5 would be Rihanna. But just because like Bad Bunny kind of put himself out there. Not just that, guys. Bad Bunny also broke streaming. He is the most watched Super Bowl performance in under 24 hours. And he's still wrapping up views. So this is the beginning of a big shift for culture overall in social media and in media. And I am just so happy to say that. Because more than ever, we need culture. We need communities. We need people being showcased. And he kind of showcased it. Because we had different types of dancers from different cultures and backgrounds. We had Afro-Latinos, Latinos. It was like, oh my God, you saw yourself in like at least one of the performers on stage. And it was just so beautiful. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys next time. And also, as well, keep it up with the culture. Bye.